Today, we're going over some very essential topics, okay? Very essential. We're going over habits. And habits run your entire life. They say the most successful people in the world have good habits. They don't work hard. They're good at setting habits. All this hard work they're doing, they're not even thinking about it. That's how they got where they are. And that's how you're going to get where you're going to get. All right? So this lesson is called habits. The good, the bad, and the hidden. All right. So, of course, all of us rogues, we've had the time where you got your setup, right? You got your bomb here, and bomb here, and it's like, oh, I have an enemy chilling over here. Little dude chilling, and it's like, nah, your bomb's over here. Never mind. And it's like, oh, I'm just gonna kick him back, into my wall here, and you kick right over here, and boom, you push your bomb out of the way while you knock him in here. You got to be very careful of that because the damage will be calculated after this bomb moves. So if you push him into this wall and it moves the bomb will move first and then they'll get into the wall. Okay? So you need to be careful of that. And how can you prevent that? I have a typical rule. Not a rule. There's every rule there's a way out of it. There's a case for breaking it. And that's an important disclaimer. I'd like to say that everything I say they're not religious tenets. You can break them all the time if the situation calls for it. Okay, so every situation, every rule I give you can be broken if you can make a good case why it's necessary. Okay. But typically I vouch for open fields. And why? I vouch for the 5 squares in between each bomb, or 4 or whatever, because first of all you have a bigger glyph, which is great. And second of all, if it's wider, most of the action, if you're going to kick back, if you're going to magnet, whatever, most of the action is going to happen near the middle of the field here. You're closer to this bomb, closer maybe to this bomb, but it's not going to be all the way out here or out here, So if you have an open field, you're a lot less likely to break your wall. And also be careful because sometimes you can, with the same thing can happen with magnet. You got this guy over here, and you're standing over here, and you use magnet, you pull in your wall, and you pull in your bomb, and he goes into the wall, you're going to pull the bomb first and then damage the enemy, and you're not going to hit for nearly as much. God forbid this bomb is your first bomb that you put down, you're not going to hit for anything, because you just pulled it out of the equation. So, cool. So you got to be careful of that. I vouch for the open walls. But there is a case like where you don't want open walls. And that is if you're backed against a corner. Let's say you got this wall here, right? And you're backed against a corner. You got a space here, a bomb here, and a bomb here, okay? And you got this wall. In this case, and this is a very particular case, but everything will happen. If you play for as long as I have, everything happens. So I would recommend, unless you're trying to pull someone in over here, every rule can be broken, but I'd recommend putting a bomb here. Third bomb placement is incredibly important because then you have to stand back here when you pull people in with magnet. Because the problem is, it depends on your dodge and lock. It really does. If you have lower dodge and lock, if you're not an agility rogue, you want to put your bomb over here and magnet from over here. The problem is, if you put your bomb over here, then you're forced to magnet on the first row, which, because you don't want to pull your bomb in and lose damage, And that means you could pull someone in and then lock yourself. Actually, I'm going to go really deep into third bomb placement, okay? So I'm going to talk about the 7 positions. The 7 positions. There's a number of positions, and it is 7. So here's bomb 1, here's bomb 2. Now we're talking about third bomb placement. Where are you going to put your third bomb? So there's 7 positions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 positions. And your enemy could be standing in any one of these rows, okay? So here's the obvious ones. If they're standing in 2, you can obviously kick them back to 1 and close the wall. All of this reflects. What you can do in position 1, you can do in position 7. 2 and 6 are aligned, 3 and 5 are aligned, and 4 is always the same, okay? So another thing you can do, however, is if the enemy is in line 2, you use magnet on bomb 1, pull in bomb 2, now bomb 2 is over here, and you put bomb 3 over here, and you got them closed in, okay? Okay, so if you have them in position 3, right, then what you do is use magnet on number 1, pull 2 together, move right outside bomb 1, use kickback, trying to make a foot here. I'm doing a terrible job making a foot. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. So use kickback right beside bomb 1 and 2 that you pulled over here. And 1 and 2 will move to positions 3 and 4. So you have bomb 1 here and bomb 2 here. I'm making a mess. I am so sorry. Okay, so do you understand that so far? So you're going to use magnet on 1, move linear with this, and kick back over here, and you'll move bomb 1 and 2 from position 1 and 2 to position 3 and 4. Then you can use your third bomb placement to close them in either here or here, okay? And if you flip it the other way, then literally that means the enemy could be within this area, and you can third bomb place them, okay? Like I said, 11 AP, 5 MP, 6 MP is ideal, and you'll be able to make those movements and move them where you want. Okay. Next lesson is preserving cooldowns. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you when they're the most useful, and I'm hoping that will help you preserve them and know these are the scenarios that they're best useful, so I'm going to hold on for those situations, okay? So we're going to start with roguery. And what does roguery do? We should know by now that roguery, good at level 6, you're chilling over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces that you can choose from. And when you go in one direction, you go the same amount in every other direction. You make copies of yourself. So you would actually be here, but in the same amount of space in every direction, you're making a clone of yourself. When is this the most useful? Against SRAM. When the SRAM is invisible, it's good to use your turn, save 3 AP, and use roguery at the end, because it makes it so that the SRAM can't, take advantage of you for an entire turn. So, because they don't know where you are, they don't know where to put their traps, they don't know where to hit, and that buys you a turn of a SRAM's invisibility, okay? Cheating certain death. So if it is coming to the end of your life, you can use roguery to make yourself last another turn if you can fool your opponent. So, and then of course, escaping a lock. If you're locked, It's a way to teleport. It's also great for if you have a field that has like a huge gap in it and you have to walk all the way around the field. You can jump over stuff with roguery. So it's a no line of sight jump, okay? So let's talk about Dirty Trick. So Dirty Trick is useful for, let's say that now you're chilling over here. Let's say you're all the way out here, okay? So freaking Dirty Trick is good for pulling bombs out who are like far out of play. Like if this bomb, or for whatever reason this bomb's all the way over here doing some dumb shit, you can swap with it and put it back in a reasonable place. So stray bombs, it's a way to put them back into play. Dirty Trick is great for big closing damage. So if you've got a bomb all the way stray over here or whatever, or if you have bomb 3 over here, then you can stand here. Enemies, unfortunately for him, over here, and you can swap with this bomb and close a wall on him. I've done big damage with Dirty Trick just because you close walls in a way that your opponent just doesn't expect. They simply just don't expect it because it's hard to keep track of. You know, just legit swapping with a bomb that's like anywhere, especially when you have 6 range. And I'm going to make a video about stats and spells you want to level. In another video, I'm going to make another video of that. And I'm going to bring up the importance of 6 range. 6. We'll talk about it, okay? Mobility is your number 1 priority, okay? The last thing for Dirty Trick is the left to die finish. I have 3 different finishes that you can do with a rogue, and I will go over that. I believe I go over that last as finishers, okay? Remission. Don't waste remission on hidden bombs unless you're going against like a chance panda who can, like, okay, so if you have this bomb, you know, don't remission it unless they have like a chance panda that can, you know, hit area of effect and hit it, or they have, you know, an Eka flip, you know, an int Eka flip that can hit through walls. You know, anything that doesn't need line of sight, you can make a case for remissioning a bomb that's hidden. But you typically want to save it for, I would say your second bomb is when it's the most useful. Unless your second bomb is hidden too. I typically use it on the second bomb if the first one is hidden. Just because when you place the third bomb, it doesn't matter that much if the third bomb dies as much as the second bomb. Because the second bomb is going to be around longer. It's going to have higher combo bonus. So you want to preserve your second bomb's health. If they keep killing your third bomb, you're still racking up combo bonus on your first 2 bombs. So you need to keep those safe. Okay? So that's the best time for remission. Last breath. A must for finishing. I will link... I have another video talking about why last breath is essential to finishing, to taking the game specifically, and why its damage is colossal and necessary. Okay? So, last breath, a must for finishing. Also, last breath is good if you're a breath away from death. Yeah. So if you have 50 HP, if you have 100 HP, and you're about to be taken down by someone's leak pie, use last breath. If one of your allies goes before you, they can maximize your bomb potential before you're dead. I'd also like to bring up, if you are playing with allies and not by yourself, if you use powder on one of your bombs and you die, your bombs blow. So, assuming your allies aren't in range of your bomb's detonation range, it's really good to powder one of your bombs when you know you're about to die, and it'll blow your bombs as soon as you die. You can take people out like that. Good. Perfect. Great. Wonderful. Amazing. Beautiful. All right. Now, hidden mechanics. If you know these hidden mechanics, you're going to wreck. All right. First thing you need to know. Walls only hit once per per turn okay, I'm a rogue. Between my turn, on my turn, and the beginning of my next turn, enemies can only be hit by a wall once, okay? And switching it to another part of the wall doesn't change anything, okay? They can only be hit by a wall once. So what do I mean? If an enemy's over here, and I kick him back into the wall, he's going to take damage. But if I use magnet on this bomb and pull him another cell, it won't hit him again, okay? That includes on allies' turns. On an ally's turn, pushing them into the wall and then moving them again, or pulling them out and throwing them back in the wall, it won't do anything, okay? They can only get hit once, and once by a wall. And here's another reason why this is important. Now let's say you have an Eka Flip who uses, I think it's called Fate of Eka Flip, that pushback. You pull them in and push them back. And then IOPS have pushback, any pushback, right? Any pushback. The opponent will get stopped on the wall, okay? So the opponent will be chilling over here. They'll get stopped on the wall. But if they already got hit by a wall that turn, then that means they're going to go through the wall if you push them through. They're not going to be stopped by the wall because they're not getting hit by it. So if you ever see those Sakureiras, they're pulling in a monster and it goes through their wall, and that doesn't stop at the wall, it's because the monster got hit that turn and it'll just keep on going through the wall, okay? Super important, all right? Super hard to remember as well. Super hard to remember. So let me explain to you how Overload works. Overload it's a cross, that's what it's called. Cross of 2. So what it does is bombs that are hit by it, they gain a state. The turn you cast it, it does nothing. The next turn, it gains an Unbewitch of 1. Each bomb that you hit gains an Unbewitch of 1. The turn after that gains an Unbewitch of 2. The turn after that gains an Unbewitch of 3. And the turn after that, all the Unbewitch goes away. The only way you can use that Unbewitch is through detonation. So, if you have a Masquerader chilling, you got a Masquerader chilling over here, and this bomb is overloaded. On the turn after, it's going to do -1, so it'll take -1 off of one turn off of his shield, or the next turn it would take 2 turns off his shield, the next turn 3 turns off his shield. That's why it's important to cast it like turn 2 or 3, because you give it some time to cook up and overload itself, okay? You don't need to put points in overload unless you're like legit hardcore support rogue, which I tried it, not amazing. Because I vouch for 6 range, you only need level 1 overload, because you'll get the range bonus. It's range modifiable, and honestly, the cooldown is like 9 turns or something like that. You'll only need to use it once, most likely, and if you do need to use it twice, still not worth the points. If you want to put the points, you'll need spell scrolls. Alright, so let's talk about common spells, okay? I got my release at level 6, okay? Pushing in 4 spaces, that's awesome. Level 6 is debatable, okay? So with release level 6, you can push someone back 4 spaces and then kick them back again. That's 5 spaces of field manipulation, which means that you can push them into your wall from like super far away. Here's the thing. This is why level 5 range may be preferable for certain play styles. Okay, I'm gonna draw it out. You got a bomb here and a bomb here, okay? And here's your wall. But your enemy is all the way over here being a bad boy with his devil ears, whatever. He's chilling all the way up there. You see that? Okay, perfect. So it's like, oh shoot, my bombs are so far away. Like, what am I going to do? So it's like, no worries. You got level 5 release, which means you can stand over here. You can walk up. Here you are, little angel guy. You're like, yo, I need to move my wall up. So what you're going to do is you're going to come up to one of your bombs. You're going to release it. That's going to push it 1, 2, 3 spaces. So that's going to push bomb 1 over here. Then you can use kickback. Use kickback over here and push that also 3 spaces. And what did you do? You made yourself a bomb wall again. You just literally took the wall and pushed it 3 spaces, okay? So you'd think there's an Alaskan bullworm going on over here. You just gotta push it somewhere else, you know? So that's what you do. Release one bomb, kick back the other, you move the entire wall. I have my release at level 6. I like being able to push them 5 spaces, 4 to 5 spaces. It's nice. So that's what I prefer to do. Kawit, I have level 6 Kawit, okay? Kawit level 6. Strongly recommend. You know what? I'm telling you. Kawit level 6. And here's why. Because it's a magnet target. You know? You got, well, it's got multiple uses, okay? So you've got bomb 1 over here and bomb 2 over here. Oh shoot, you know, that bomb is, you know, not where it's supposed to be. I want to put a wall over here, but I don't have enough MP. Can you see that? Okay, I don't have enough MP to move all the way over here and use magnet on myself, or I already use magnet on myself, and you can only do that once per target. So you can put yourself a nice, beautiful Kawit over here. Oh, beautiful. Put a Kawit right over here, use magnet on it, pull your bomb back into wall formation. Somebody's calling me, I don't care. Job interview. Oh shoot, I need to get to that. Sorry. Alright, so yeah, you got your nice Kawit over here. Use magnet on it. Okay? Use magnet on your Kawit. And pull your bomb back into a wall. That's one thing you can do with it. Another thing is if you have your closed wall over here and you have an enemy over here, you can cast a Kawit linear to your enemy. Oh my gosh, can you believe this? You can cast a Kawit linear to your enemy and then cast magnet on it and pull them in if you can't reach it yourself. Okay? Another thing you can do with Kawit, this is probably a good place to put it to pull them in linear, because Kawit is also very good for blocking the enemy. So because of the fact that it doesn't make decisions, it doesn't move, it's not an Arachne, it's not a Schafer, it doesn't move, it chills. So because of that, you would put it there. It's level 6. It's got decent HP. It's got as much HP as your bombs do. You pull them into the wall, and that means if they want to approach you on this side of the wall, then they have to move out of the way of the Kawit to get to you, which means they walk into the wall again. Because you can only get hit once per turn by a wall, but that's only if it's not your turn. If you're an enemy and it's your turn, you can get hit by the wall as many times as you step in it, move in it, whatever. If it's your turn, you get hit as many times as it's possible. Okay? So moving one square to the side, you take extra damage, right? So typically to get out of this for an opponent, what they'll do, they'll either use a pushback spell to make your bombs too wide to make a wall. That's one way to escape that. And number 2 is by breaking your Kawit, right? Or killing a bomb, right? So you have a couple of choices with remission in this situation. You either choose a bomb, your bigger bomb, and you use remission to keep it alive because they might break it, move it, or whatever. So your choices are either remission one of your bombs, most likely your bigger bomb, or your healthier bomb that can take a few hits through the remission. Because sometimes you don't want to use remission on a bomb that's too weak because they can still break it. Another thing that they could do is break your Kowit. And if they do, because Kowit is not a bomb, if you cast remission on your Kowit, they'll. I have remission level 6. If they hit your Kowit from close combat, level 6, then they'll get knocked back 6 spaces. And that's a good way to keep them away. Get some distance, right? Summons. Get all the summons you can. Summoning of Arachne, summoning of Schafers, and summoning of Dofus, okay? And here's why. Arachne is like Kowit, that it can block someone on the wall. A lot easier to break, but still, it's there. They have to waste AP to kill the Arachne. Arachne and Schafers can be used as magnet fodder. I'll talk about that in a second. That's another hidden mechanic. Arachne, distance of 1. Schafers, distance of 2. Range. They're good. Just as Kowit does. If you are out of MP, you can put an Arachne next to you, use magnet on it, and pull in whatever you're trying to pull in. Schafers, you can cast in 2 range. It's if you need 2 range, if you need to do diagonally, whatever you need to do, okay? And also, Schafers doesn't have great dodge, so most likely if you put Schafers next to an enemy to block it, the Schafers won't disobey or whatever. They'll either hit the enemy or they'll not move because they can't get away. They don't have enough dodge. And now with the new update, critical hit on a Schafers makes them not attack you, and it makes them stronger and all that. And then most importantly, and it's a hidden mechanic, but I wish it wasn't. Actually, I'm glad to know that I'm glad to have esoteric knowledge. But this is super important. The most important thing that you can do with a Schafers or an Arachne is called the double pull. And what is that? Let's talk about it real quick. All right. So you've got your wall. Bomb 1, bomb 2. Here's your wall. And your opponent, so here's a chubby one. It's a chubby enemy. So your opponent is 2 spaces away from the wall. So what can you do? It costs 11 AP to put a bomb into double pull. So, 11 AP for pretty much anything. So here you are, little angel dude. And you have 11 AP, so you'll use 1 AP to put bomb 3, and then this costs 8 AP. You do this. Magnet on yourself, put either Arachne or Schafers linear to the enemy, and use magnet again. Because you can only use magnet once per turn per target. And so it gives you another target to pull. So you can pull someone twice. Super useful. I probably use it every fight. I use double pull. Super useful. That's why I have 4 summons. 4 summon capacity. Kowit does not take up a summon. And then you have Arachne, Schafers, summoning of Dofus, and Boombot. That's what I like about 4 summons. If I have 3 summons out, I can still get my Boombot out. Because that's trouble you can run across. So you don't have enough summons. You have summons out already, and you don't have enough summons to summon a Boombot, which can be devastating. It can be terrible if you're not able to do that. And if you think about it, you can also use magnet on a Boombot as well. All right. Oh, another detail about a a wall stopping an enemy. A wall does not stop an enemy if it hits more than once per turn. I talked about that. But it does stop an ally even though they're kaboomed. So if you kaboom an ally and then push them through the wall, they'll stop at the wall even though they're kaboomed. They won't go through it. So it'll stop them there. Another important thing. One last mechanic. I have a video of this. There was this guy streaming. He's called a Twitcher. That's his name on Grandapan. And I found out he was chilling at the Zap, so I challenged him, and I killed him in a very unique way. And it's another hidden mechanic I figured I'd bring up. So I was talking about Arachnes and Schafers. So with Arachnes and Schafers, if you place an Arachne or Schafer over here in between all these bombs, where the bombs are too far away to make a wall, then, if you use Magnet on that Arachne or Schafer, its health is so low that when you hit it with Magnet, the bombs are going to come in and kill it so fast that it will die as everything is coming in, and it will actually arrange in a certain order. It'll completely ignore it, and it'll come into a pattern like this. So wherever the Arachne was standing is where the middle bomb will be. So in this stream that I was talking about, the enemy was over here, the Arachne was over here. I actually kicked back the Arachne in between all these bombs, used Magnet on it. It brought all of these bombs together and pulled him in one fell swoop. I used Last Breath and took the game just like that. So that's an amazing thing with Arachnes and Schafers. It really, anything that would die from the bombs closing in is that it'll just disappear. It'll just be gone. And the middle bomb will take its place. I'm going to go over 3 finishers. This is the fun part. We're talking about fun stuff now. If I bored you this far, then this will be a little less excruciating. So, 3 finishers. The near linear finish, the blind blow, and the left to die finish. So let's talk about the near linear finish. If you've got bomb 1 over here, bomb 2 over here, and bomb 3 over here, you got these walls. You can use Magnet on the middle bomb to pull all of your bombs together. And when you have all your bombs together, there's two versions of this. There's your bombs being linear with each other, like that, and your bombs being in an L shape, okay? And these provide different opportunities. So for the straight line of bombs, your death points are over here and over here, okay? Both of these spots next to the middle bomb is where they get hit by all 3 bombs. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't blow your bombs if you can't get them to hit all 3, because I've seen 2 bombs take the game with Last Breath. Especially if Last Breath hits all the bombs. But these are your big death points, is X and X, okay? Now, if you've got 3 bombs in an L shape, your death spots are here, here, and here, okay? So, side by side the middle bomb, or obviously being surrounded by 3 bombs. So why is this important? Obviously for any situation that you want to push them in and blow all 3 bombs, but here's what's important. And this is something you want to communicate with your team. So Boombot has 4 AP. Costs 2 AP to push, 2 AP to pull, and 2 AP to detonate. So why is this important? Because you can't pull someone, then push someone, then detonate. So communicate to your allies, hey, I need him linear to one of these 3 points. Okay? This is the near linear finish. you put your enemy linear to either this point, or this point. So let's say you have an enemy chilling over here, okay? And he is, you have to push him to that position. You push him to be linear to this position, because then when you get your Boombot, you would get Boombot to run over here, push him into the death zone, and then detonate, okay? So you want to communicate to your allies. You can point out the cell and say, make enemy linear to point out the cell. And then from any angle, you can use Boombot to push him in to the death zone and then blow the bombs, okay? And don't forget, I have a video that explains why Last Breath is fucking crazy and you want it to finish people off, okay? You can one-shot people with Last Breath, okay? It's insane. It's insane damage. All right. So that is the near linear finish, okay? The next one is called the blind blow. And this is used in any situation where, like, okay, so you have a wall here, a wall here, a wall here, maybe over here, over here. And you got a bomb here, your first bomb, your second bomb, and your third bomb, right? And there's a space in between. So obviously some wall here, some wall here. If you want to put yourself in a position that you can hit him with all 3 bombs, then what you would do is you'd obviously move to the place where you want to swap at. And the issue is that you would swap with this bomb, but then not be in line of sight to detonate. So my point is, you'll use 2 AP to position the enemy in whatever place. So 2 AP to position. 2 AP for Last Breath. 4 AP, you do this before you use Dirty Trick. You use Boombot, and then you use 3 AP for Dirty Trick. So you put your Boombot over here, or anywhere that it's in line of sight of the bombs. Then you swap with this bomb, and it's like, oh crap, I don't have any EMP. I can't go around. I can't do anything to detonate it. It's fine. Your Boombot will detonate for you. It's called the blind blow. The Boombot will blow everything for you, and it even has the Boombot, even before it detonates, has enough AP to do one positioning move, pull or push. So do a pull or push and then detonate. Okay. So that's the blind blow. The last finisher I'm going to talk about is one that I use all the time. This is how I kill people. This is how I kill people, monsters. This is the left to die finish, okay? Alright. I've got this one drawn out already. It's a pretty good illustration. This is called the left to die finish, okay? LTD, left to die finish. I use this pretty much all the time, okay? This is what you do. You got your enemy first, Last Breath, because from the middle, Last Breath will most likely hit all bombs if you use it first. You're linear with the enemy. You use Dirty Trick on the hidden bomb. Take a step into line of sight range. Use Magnet on the enemy to bring everything together, which means you now have a bomb here, here, and here. And then you blow it. And all of that costs only 8 AP, which means with 3 AP left, you can either have this third bomb put down that turn, right? So you could close them on the wall that turn, or it's enough for a positioning move. But yes, that is the left to die blow, okay? The left to die finish. And that, I use this all the time. Beware, when you're fighting me, beware of me when I'm doing this, because you'll think you're winning because I got 100 HP or whatever. I'm going to do the left to die finish, because that's how my character works. The lower you make my HP, the more dangerous I become, because that's when I start thinking about finishing moves, okay? So you're going to get linear with him. Last breath. Swap with the hidden bomb so that the hidden bomb is linear to the enemy. Move line of sight of the monster. Use magnet. Pull all the bombs together. Detonate. You're going to take the game. My next video is going to be about what spells are important and what level you should make them. What stats are important that you want. And I think I'm going to start off that video talking about why Rogue is the best class. Because, you know, if you know me, you know I say that all the time. Rogue. They made Dofus so they could eventually make Rogue. So, cool. And I'll talk to you guys about that then. But thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. If I did something wrong, did something stupid, if I'm a pompous asshole, let me know in the comments, okay? We had a good time, and that's what we came here for. See you guys later.